Shaken YouTubenites, welcome into the Cover Price Shakers of the Week. I know we're running a little bit late, but while you all are congregating,
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Perfect. Nice little short one to get us going. Guys, welcome in. We have an interesting list. We got the full panel here with us tonight. It's Shakers. It's Thursday. It's going to be good. Let's do a quick round table. Marty, we'll start with you. Say what's good.
Greetings and salutations, nerds, geeks, and geekettes. Thank you for joining us as always. It's such an honor to be on the show, on the Shakers list, Cover Price with my boys Chris, Lando, and beautiful Lady Laura, right? So give them some love. Everybody, thanks for joining us on live or on the rewind. We hope to have a good show for you. I have yet to see this list, to be honest with you. Full disclosure, got off work late tonight, so I ran in, got changed, got ready. Yeah, we're going to wing it. Well, I'm going to wing it. So here we go.
Always good to have you. Chris, say what's up.
You know, it is with a heavy heart that I announced the withdrawal of my presidential campaign. I am pulling myself from the race. I know it's going to leave a lot of disappointed people out there, but hashtag fine, I'll go fix it. It's just that campaign is just not going to work for 2024. We'll try again in 28.
Summer.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm absolutely so sorry, man.
No, I'm happy to be here, and thank you, JD, for the write-in vote. I appreciate that. I hope you put Dr. Yo-Yo or it didn't actually count for me. But no, happy to be here. It's Thursday. We have a really cool list this week, and a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yep.
Lando, you're up.
Chris, I just wanted to let you know that as a Canadian, my vote wouldn't count, but I would have voted for you. So there you go. That could have been your
because of my strong maple syrup campaign, right?
There you go. You might have a better chance on this side. But yes, it's Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week. I get to hang out with these three amazing people and you guys, the chat. And I did get a glimpse, unlike Marty. I took a look at the list, and I think you guys are going to be impressed. So, Laura, shall we get into it?
Well, yeah, let's
Lando, one disclaimer here. By the way, Lando, I just so you know, I don't vote for people that don't like candy corn, man. I just don't. So there it is. I'm just throwing it out there. You do whatever you want with it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's fair. But guys, no politics, simply comics. Let's disconnect for 1 hour. Laura, take it away.
All right, here we go. So if you are just hopping in, this list comes from our friends over at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shaker list. Keep in mind, the list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it out to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. So these are just in alphabetical order. What do we have, Marty, for shaker number one?
All right, this is very interesting. Coming from 1942. Shaker number one brings you Bang Up Comics number 2 from Progressive Publishers, published in 1942. Bang Up Comics is one of the lesser-known Golden Age comic book series. Issue number 2 includes a number of the short stories featuring a continuation of characters from issue number 1, including Lady Fairplay, Cosmo Man, Dick Star, Rick Masters, and Buzz Balmer. Hey, I don't know, man, but is this like an adult film or something?
Big Star sounds.
I don't
very
know.
much like one.
Anyways, like many Golden Age comic books, the cover art has little to do with their inner pages. The cover to issue number 2 features Buzz Balmer's blasting Nazi warplanes with his minus beam, something that does not occur in his inner story. All 3 issues of Bang Up Comics are incredibly rare and very low print, and thus difficult to source for collectors on the open market. With only 10 copies on the CGC census of issue number 2, we're excited to see a CGC 7.0 copy come to market last week and hit $2,160. It might be a while before we see other issues to market, but when and if they do, Cover Price will be here to let you know. Interesting, huh? So once again, going back to those names I read earlier,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the type to jump to conclusions or have a dirty mind or anything, but then some of those seem very kind of like towing the line.
Marty, remember when TiVo was on? He was like, "This sounds like porn star names the whole time." Do you remember that? It was like,
yeah,
been on here before, and I think it was kind of intentional, but
they knew
interesting.
what they were doing. Are you kidding me?
I just want to see a team up of Dick Star and Richard Rider. Like, I think that would be absolutely amazing.
Dick Rider.
So a 1942 7.0 for $2,000. Don't you guys feel that that's probably too low?
That's a massive steal. That's insane.
Yeah.
I think that's very reasonable, especially with what I see some of the modern comics going for it. I get one thing, something from 1942, that's some time traveling shit, and for $2,000, worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
82 years old.
Classic red, orange. You see blue in there as well. That's the classic 1940s, 1950s comic book, right? Golden Age here we see going for $2,160 for a 7. Absolute steal all day long for me, man. If I had the money for a 1942 CGC graded 7.0, absolutely, man. That's a steal. That's an absolute steal. This is
definitely.
history. You're talking about history right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think especially with nice vibrant colors. I mean, you could probably get this thing. I'm guessing an 8. What do you think an 8.0 would go for? Like, I would say close to 3,000, just because of the grade.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking more like low 4, yeah. Definitely so. a 1 with a 1 grade. Yeah, if it boosts up 1 grade, you're definitely
I
absolutely
think
4.
Each grade is a 2x multiplier, right? So a 7.0 is $2,000, an 8.0 would be 4. I would think a 9 would go
really 4 right now. I'm curious.
I'm guessing. There's probably not any sales history to really tell us.
Right.
Can you imagine this in a 9.8, man? How vibrant the yellows would be out there. This would be gorgeous.
But again, like, even judging by the 7.0 sale, that 2,160, I'd imagine a 9.8 being a lot more, but even an 8.0, like, if this was a shaker, an 8.0 going, let's say, at 3,000, even 4,000, I still consider that to be relatively low, factoring how old it is. Like I said, it's 82 years old, guys. And of course, what you just finished saying, Marty, regarding the book, like, there's a lot of interesting things here, especially the characters. Derek, I see your comment. It broke me.
I almost put it up too, and I'm like, I can't do it.
But yeah.
All right, shaker number 1, guys. Bang Up Comics number 2 from Progressive Publishers back in 1942, with the top sale coming in at what we think is a very reasonable CGC 7.0, $2,160. I think that was money well spent. All right, Chris, what do we have for shaker number 2? What is this? What is this?
Shaker number 2, you have Cocaine Comics number 4 by Last Gasp Comics from 1982. And look at this cover. I mean, some may see the title of this book and think that, hey, that glorifies drug use. And you're right, it does. But it also shows a shadier side of the adverse effect of the old booger sugar and what happens with that in your life. However, what sets this book apart from the sea of other adult-themed comics is the creative name associated with it. The interior art and cover were done by George DiCaprio, the father of Leonardo DiCaprio, and a popular fixture in the underground comic scene. Wow, somebody play the Laura, we definitely need to get the more you know star to go across the screen for this.
Yeah.
Oh yes, get me that clip. I'll play it all the time. I would love that.
Man. The talent runs deep in the family. Fans have shown interest in this series for decades, but recently a CGC 9.8 copy of the final issue, and the only one on the census, by the way, sold for a whopping $500. It's hard to compare to other sales since this is the only one available, but a 9.6 sold back in 2019 for $240, with a near mint raw copy on the average sale for $50 when they do change hands. Despite being a final issue in the limited run, it pales in comparison to the more well-known issue number 3, for reasons with that issue reaching the heights of $850 for a CGC 8.0 copy earlier this year. It's a reminder of yesteryear, falling in line with the surge of interest in underground adult comics lately, and a cool book to add to any personal collection for the right price. Now, let me show you what number 3 looks like real fast, because it is kind of wild.
I didn't even know George DiCaprio was anywhere near comic books, so this is like blowing my mind. All right, here's number 3.
Yo.
Wow. Interesting.
Yikes. George was on some good stuff back in the day.
I feel like I need to like put my cursor over this to censor it.
I can only leave that on the screen for I took Marty off. I can only leave that on the screen for so long because there were so many things. Duh. Okay. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
I didn't realize that was there. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, it gives you an idea, vibe. This is adults only, so we already knew kind of what we were getting into here. What do you think, Marty?
Just like you said, this is an adults only comics. I wonder if this was magazine side or the regular comic size. Does anybody know? I'm going to assume for typically something like this would go magazine side that I see, but this has been an adult only. Then in 1982, they didn't do a lot of adults only comic book size. It was typically mainly magazines,
like Playboy, Penthouse.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even Penthouse Comics now is magazine size still too.
Right.
So that's interesting. Anyways, but let's talk about the cover. This is an interesting cover. I can see there's a comedic look about this. This is comedic, if you ask me. There's some comedy to it. Me personally, I find it comedic, but other people that are a little bit more PC might not like it, right?
Okay,
so
it doesn't only glorify drug use. I think this is actually rather appealing to a younger crowd. That's the part of it that bugs me. If I was a kid walking through a comic book store, I'd be like, oh, this looks like fun. I'm going to check out cocaine comics. Yeah. What do you think, Lando?
Yeah. What I do find interesting about the cover, though, Marty, because you brought up the cover, is the fact that they actually have the actual Crush logo. You got Coke logo, not the cocaine. I'm talking about Coke, the drink. Yeah. Normally you don't see that too often, right? Where they go
this is definitely one of those instances where they do what they want and they hope that nobody notices. So that
oh, you're right. I didn't see it, Lando, at all. It's behind his pinky.
Yeah, exactly. So behind the pinky, you could see the Coke bottle, and then you could see the Crush logo. So I've seen. Wasn't there a Superman book recalled based off of a beer bottle on the cover or something? Yeah. Like, you don't really see such logos making it on a regular comic. So I think it's pretty cool. I clearly can tell. Thank you, Chris, for letting me know that the rest of the series is just as wild when it comes to covers. But I had no idea this was a thing, and I had no idea Leonardo DiCaprio's father knew how to party. That's all I'm going to say.
Obviously, that's where Leonardo learned how to draw them like one of his French girls.
You think that's where he learned how to draw the girl in Titanic when she's on the sofa?
Very good.
Lando,
I like
really
it. I like
appreciate
it,
you
guys.
explaining the joke, Lando. Thank you.
Oh
Very
my God.
great.
Okay.
Very great pun, Chris, if
We're
I might
moving
say
on
so.
from this one. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Cocaine Comics number 4, Last Gasp 1982, on CGC 9.8, coming in at $500 whopping dollars. And just a little side note, guys, nobody in the chat, including King of Golden State, have made the board yet.
Yeah.
What do we have next?
Well, let's shy away from the nose candy and porn star names. We're going to go with Dragon Ball Z number 1. Yes, something that I'm sure almost everybody has watched at least once in their lifetime. Here we have the holo foil, and it is a limited to 5,000 copy. Viz Media in 2014, one of the most influential manga and anime franchises ever. The popularity of the Dragon Ball universe has only grown over the years since its initial manga run for Shonen Jump magazine in 1984. Since the death of creator Akira Toriyama in March of this year, both the manga and the short-run comic series chronicling the adventures of Goku and the gang have seen a significant spike in resale value on the aftermarket. This week, a variant version of one of the collected editions of the original Dragon Ball Z manga hit a new all-time high. An ungraded raw Dragon Ball Z number 1 sold for $1,300. That is a big damn. But it is up nearly $200 from its previous all-time high. Interestingly, this foil variant was limited to 5,000 copies when released in 2014, and each copy is individually numbered in the top corner. This has been done on some releases through Viz in the past, but it always adds a little more impact to see the numbering right on the cover. This value will likely only increase over time, and Dragon Ball will continue to be a stalwart franchise whose impact will continue to be felt for years to come. A well-deserved high note of the illustrious career of Mr. Toriyama, who rests in peace. A huge part of my childhood. Yes, Dragon Ball Z.
Glad you got this one. This was like a Lando book.
Yeah, and somebody had to bring this show back on course. It was getting wild out the gate. But
it's been a night.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, guys. Like I said, at least for myself, this is something that was a huge part of my childhood. To this day, is a huge hit. Video games are still dropping. We just recently got a video game drop. The game's incredible. Everything about Dragon Ball Z. For myself, there's just nothing negative about it. Now, this particular book, I had no idea that this 5,000 limited foil existed when it comes to Dragon Ball Z 1. But the numbering on the top right, you could see it here. I can't fully see. Hold on. So it's see here 330. Yeah, 330 of 5,000. So this is interesting. I will keep an eye out for this on the secondary market, because if I could come across, a copy at a good price, this is up my alley.
That's a massive print run for it to be getting this price. Like I'm a little bit surprised by that. 5,000 copies is not like a super limited run. Not to justify $1,300 anywhere. I'm a little bit complexed by that.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know. I guess the demand's there. I don't know. Or maybe people that have them aren't selling.
If I can find a deal, it is up my alley. But cool. 1,300, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a crazy book. Lando, I'm sorry to admit this to you, but I'm not really a Dragon Ball fan.
It was a good show, guys. I'll see you next week.
Here, Lando, I'll fix it. There, he's gone now. Don't worry. I took care of it for you.
That was awesome.
No, bring it back.
No, I mean, I watched it, in
she cancel cultured you.
And we watched the Boo thing, and it just had a hard time getting into it. That's all. I think my problem was I came into it too old to appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like an adult by the time.
There's no such thing as being too old for Dragon Ball Z. That's the whole point. This is.
But I think that if you were
Pokemon.
exposed to it as like a teenager, where you could really get into those. 108-minute fights that don't go anywhere.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just it's the candy corn of magma to me.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You told me to leave him on the screen, Lando, so I left him on. So this is on you now.
Touche.
Jesus.
All right, so there you go. Lots of opinions, but that's the point, right? This shows you don't have to love everything, you don't have to collect everything. It's all about what speaks to you. And at Shaker
That's
number
right.
3, we have Dragon Ball Z number 1, a hollow foil variant limited to 5,000 from Viz Media back in 2014. A raw sale coming in at a whopping $1,300 for this. That's blowing my mind. All right, Marty, what do we got next?
Yeah. Look at this one. Number 4 Shaker is Epitaph from the Abyss number 1 by Richard Corbin from the 2020 San Diego Comic-Con Fan Attic Edition. This is by Oni Press, published in 2024. EC Comics was originally founded as an educational comics by Maxwell Gaines, but his son Williams rebranded it as an entertainment comics after Maxwell's untimely death in 1947. EC Comics became synonymous with horror and fantasy, producing titles such as Tales from the Crypt, The Vault of Horror, The Haunt of Fear, Weird Science, and Weird Fantasy. Gaines was partially responsible.
Bert Hermgeif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Lingfucker.
It is what it is.
I deserved that one. I sure the hell
I had to
did.
do it. I'm sorry.
I know, and I did deserve that one.
Where were you?
Oh my God. Gaines was partially responsible for forming the Comics Code Authority, ironically leading to EC Comics' demise and later helping coin the phrase pre-code horror. After nearly 70 years, Oni Comics teamed up with the relatives of Gaines to print 2 new EC Comics series, Epitaphs from the Abyss and Cruel Universe. Epitaphs from the Abyss introduces us to 3 new crypt keepers, the Gravedigger, the Tormentor, and the Grim Inquisitor. There are quite a few variants for the first issue, with the 1 in 100 variant by Dustin Weaver showcasing the new crypt keepers on the cover and recently selling for $453 for a graded 9.8 last month. This week, the San Diego Comic-Con variant surpassed that price by selling for $495 for a graded 9.8. Collectors were just dying to see EC Comics in print again.
Hey, King of the Golden State, I have this. Sucker! So now I'm beating you by 100% according to my calculations because you have 0 and I have 1. So yeah.
Do you have this? Really?
I'm 100% above King of the... Yeah, I have this. I think
Oh.
actually I have 2 of them, to be honest.
Not bad. You go, Laura.
Just saying. Anthony will be like, those are mine. She's just claiming my stuff, but it's true.
Well, so there's sort of a disagreement in that, huh? Okay, interesting.
No, what's his is mine, what's mine is mine. That's how
Oh,
marriage
that's
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how women always see it, though.
Yeah, I remember that this was like a big thing during that con. Have any of you guys ever gone to San Diego?
Nope.
No, I have not.
It's bucket list for me. Like hopefully next year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go as the panel members. Maybe we can get in there.
I pity everybody who would come and see us.
We should get our own booth. That'd be fun.
Man, come on, man. That's horrible self-talk, man.
No,
Where's the positivity here, you know?
You know what? If you guys are all willing to commit, I will happily make my way.
All right. I don't like San Diego Comic-Con though. I said it. It's too busy.
All right, so if it doesn't happen, guys, blame Laura.
Did you say it's the candy corn of comic convention?
No, it's like I don't know. It's just there's so many people. Like I like smaller
That's
cons
terrible,
better.
man.
Yeah. Oh, anything to add to this, guys?
This is a weird cover. I don't know. I mean, how many of these were printed?
Good question.
Good question.
Good question.
It doesn't say. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hold on. Who's the publisher? Oni Press. So Oni Press, if I recall correctly, they do like Street Fighter. So I think it's a 1,000 minimum. I think.
But Chris, you do bring up a good point, because I found that there were so many great covers available for this at FOC. Just the regular cover A. I don't remember who the artist is, but the cover A is absolutely amazing. The book itself is great. I enjoyed the read. I'm not shocked to see such a book make the list just post Halloween, right? But yeah, it's interesting. Laura, congrats to you.
Do you think that's what it was? Do you think that was post Halloween buying right now?
Well, add a bit of that with, I guess it's a con exclusive, and maybe somebody wanted to get it. I don't know what's the scarcity. I don't know what's the print run.
There's a little bit of this being a very, I wouldn't say sought after, but this has history to it. Tales from the Crypt, right? You're talking about some very old books that have a lot of history to it as well, and some great horror stories. Okay, so these things sell. They sell. They just sell. There is a collection for this. I personally enjoy the old Tales from the Crypt, even the old TV shows as well. You remember those on HBO, and those were great to watch. I mean, there's they go hand in hand with the Warren Publishing back in the 1960s with Vampirella. With Comix.
Marty, look who we have in the chat. You guys, Matthew Waite is in the chat right now. What's up, Matthew? Guys, if you are not familiar with Matthew Waite's art, you are missing out. He's a fantastic guy. I'm so glad that you're here. Hi.
Sorry. Guys, I have to put it out there. I collect as much Matthew Waite covers as I can, because the retro gaming is totally my style. So thank you.
Well, welcome, Matthew. Welcome, man. It's you honor us. Thank you very much.
He was with us in New York, and his remarks are no joke. So if you guys have not been following Matthew Waite on Instagram, you are missing out. But okay, so this was, wrong one. Shaker number 4. We got Epitaphs from the Abyss number 1, the Richard Corbin 2024 San Diego Comic-Con Fan Attic Edition, aka the Laura Beat King of the Golden State Edition. Oni Press 2024 with a CZC 9.8 coming in at $495. What do we have next?
Hey, Laura, just one thing before we move on. If you have that book and you have 2 of them, sell it.
I think one of them is sold, but we sent him the grading, if I recall correctly. I wish Anthony was in the chat; he would know.
All right, so Shaker number 5. Hey, we are in the middle, and you know what that means. That means that it is time to slowly move your cursor down to the lower right-hand corner of the video, and gently tap that bell icon so that you know when this show goes live, because we got Monday shows, we got Tuesday shows, we got Thursday shows, we got Friday shows, and even though it's a schedule like clockwork, it's good to be notified. So go hit that bell icon, and then go all the way down below the roll, and leave a comment, because you want to make sure that you are engaging with the Lords of the Long Box.
Very nice.
And hit the subscribe button. All right. So Shaker number 5 is Hercules number 3, the Art Adams 1 in 25 by Marvel Comics in 2016. There are always trends and familiar faces to be found on the Shaker Report from week to week, and it is no surprise that the great Art Adams is gracing our list once again. This legendary artist, known for his work on X-Men, Hulk, Monkey Man, and O'Brien, and many more, have given us some truly amazing work throughout his career. This week, Adams' work on Hercules 2016 run takes place among its fellow Shakers. On the 5th, just 2 days ago, a raw near mint copy of Hercules number 3 sold for $200, marking a significant spike from an all-time previous high of $70. This 1 in 25 ratio portrays the Darius, the centaur, taking the fight to Hercules in the Adams' trademark style. Though this book is a looker, it hasn't changed hands all that frequently, with only 8 documented raw sales on cover price at the time of this read. Even with a low print run, this book feels like the one that may just turn up in the back issue bin at your LCS, as this book probably got overlooked upon its release.
Probably.
You know, I hate the character Hercules.
Not a big fan, huh?
Stand him. He is the Wish.com version of Thor, in my opinion. Just boring. I've never seen him written well. I've tried multiple stories that he's in it. Whenever he's on page, I just want to go to the next panel. Hercules is a bore. I am probably going to avoid his cameos in the MCU because we know we got that was it Ragnarok, right?
No, it was Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. Yeah.
Which is a fantastic arc, so you can't avoid that.
I don't like Hercules. I don't think he's a compelling character. I think it's a bad character that is doomed to always be written poorly. Got it off my chest. Sorry.
No, you gotta speak, right?
Yeah. I'm channeling my inner Gabe tonight.
Your inner Gabe.
Because Gabe hates everything.
But he's the son of Zeus, man.
I'm indifferent, to be honest with you, with the character. I don't want to say he's written poorly because he's really never been giving the opportunity with great writers to write him fairly, to be honest with you. You look at the character itself. If you look at mythology as that character, he has a huge, a great historical significance to him, right? He's Zeus's half-breed son, right?
Yeah.
Half demi, what would you say, a demigod? I mean, there's they could do so much with this character in the same respect, and maybe not to the level of Thor, but they could do so much more with him. I honestly think if they could just do him justice with some great writing, some great storylines, maybe an arc to a really great arc that contributes to a bigger universe, then I honestly think that this character can go far because he has potential. Yeah, he just needs to be written well.
I look at Ares, right? Yeah. I think Ares was handled when they did the Avengers run where the Avengers disassembled, right? Ares was part of that. He was part of the Dark Avengers during that time. Ares was a not a great character, but was written extremely well and handled very well. And you really have to, hand it to the writers who put that character out there and made him relevant up until Century tore him in half. Hercules, though, it's corny, it's goofy, it's.
Is it candy corny?
I promise to stop doing that. Joke. Yeah, but okay. You look at this art, right? And it's Art Adams. He's an important artist. He's got a big fan following. You got this big ass centaur looking like he's about to impale Hercules here.
The cover's not great. I'll give you that. The cover's not Art Adams' finest,
and it's not ratio worthy, in my opinion.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, who was buying 25 copies of Hercules back in 2016?
I got a golf clap from Matthew Waite. Thanks.
You are so smitten, Laura. You're absolutely smitten tonight, and it's so obvious.
Matthew, watch out! She will tackle you at the next con. That's what she does
in the bathroom, and in the bathroom too. So be careful, Matthew.
But yeah, so this is interesting. I think it's rare and expensive because nobody was, who was buying 25 copies of Hercules back in 2016?
Yeah.
No, for sure. But Hercules was well written in Greek mythology and in Disney. I hope you enjoyed him in Disney because I definitely did. But I will give it to Chris. In comics, could be quite cheesy. You pretty much said everything I felt about the cover. Not worthy of a ratio, in my opinion. It feels like a regular cover, but
Yeah.
because of that, kind of what was just said, it is a book that you could pass in the dollar bin, right? Like you could be looking over. Shops might not even know what this is at this point, right? So many people pass over this series. And look, you have a raw near mint sale at $200. So keep digging in those
Keep
long
digging.
boxes, guys.
Keep digging. And Art Adams is always worth collecting. So there you go. That is our shaker number 5. Hercules number 3, the Art Adams variant, 1 in 25 from Marvel in 2016, with a raw near mint sale coming in at $200. Lando, I believe you're up next, right?
Yes, let's
What do
get
you
it.
got?
All right.
Yeah.
Iron Man number
Cool.
9, the Dr. Yo-Yo variant. And you got that reference if you caught last week's show. Movie variant. The 1 in 25 movie variant by Marvel in 2013. The interest in movie photo covers seemed to be alive and well. In January, we covered a similar 1 in 25 movie photo from Iron Man issue number 10. At that time, the market had seen an increased interest in MCU photo covers. This trend did not go unnoticed by Marvel, because, well, Marvel released several photo variants for Deadpool and Wolverine, and has also gone on to do MCU concept art variants, which are still coming out as we speak, guys. This increased interest, combined with the relative scarcity of variants from that period, makes these books a little more difficult to come by. We also speculated back in January that these covers might be a bit of a nostalgia play, given that both covers feature Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man role. Recently, a 9.8 sold for $800. Guys,
Ooh.
the movie variants, it is what it is. Now, it is a ratio. Of course, it's going to get a little extra coin on the aftermarket, but they are heavily sought out after. I feel like throughout the year, we've seen so many, whether it be Black Widow, whether it be Iron Man, all these characters. And we just talked about some of these covers that are still coming out now on FOC. Like literally new comic book day this week. Yesterday, we got the first appearance of Kahuri in comics, and there was the animated MCU version cover that came out. Those are good grabs. I think those are great grabs. There's so many others coming out. There's the Thanos one that just came out. Who knows how those end up down the road? So, given they're relatively new, I don't imagine to see immediate pops on the secondary market, but such as these, especially our favorite phases of the MCU, right? I mean, Iron Man 2, I kind of don't want to remember 3. Let's not even go there. But I think, Robert Downey Jr., when you think Iron Man, you can't think anybody else. So this immediately would do well on the secondary market. Get this signed by him. Woof! I could only imagine.
That'd be expensive. Wasn't he like $500 a signature or something like that? Something crazy.
Yep.
Probably so. So I love concept art, movie art such as this. I'm a big fan. I'm a collector of the concept art of Star Wars, different Star Wars books,
cool.
the hardcovers and things like that. I love them. I love getting them signed as well. I tell you what, like I said, I'm a big fan of these. So anytime I see one of these covers, Avengers covers, because they did this really big back in 2013 to 15. They're coming out with these concept art looking of the movies and stuff. I love them. And I got quite a few of these too. So I'm happy. I'm happy these are coming up like that. If I ever get an opportunity, I definitely would get them signed too. It'd be nice to have it in my collection.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing image. Photo covers are what they are, but this is just undeniable.
Yeah, and it's your first appearance on a cover, man.
Yes, it was.
It's starting to grow back. Okay,
Dude, it suits you so well. Like, keep it going.
It did kind of work on you, Chris. I'm not gonna lie.
It works. I think it works. I think you should keep that, man. And wear the glove when you go into work, man.
I appreciate you guys setting me up to fail. Thank you so much.
All right, Iron Man number 9, the movie variant, 1 in 25 from Marvel back in the wonderful 2013. A CGC 9.8 coming in at $800. So I think some people in the chat had this. Let me see. Liger had it. So grade them if you have them. Okay. Whoever got this one. Yay.
Oh man, let me tell you, I missed the boat on this bad boy. This is still on my wish list too, but now it's going for this price. Regardless, this is such a gorgeous cover. Number 7 is Jim Henson's Labyrinth #2 by Justine Florentino. This is the 1:25 ratio by Boom Studios, published in 2024. This is a book that just keeps getting more and more sought after. This series is a graphic adaptation of A.C.H. Smith's beloved novelization of Jim Henson's Labyrinth, adapted by writer Kyla Vandergloot, Shadow and Bone, and artist Giorgio Spalletta, Alice Never After. The first issue was released in September. This comic was a stunning cover and is hard to find. These factors combined are a recipe for aftermarket success. We have seen several mid-run, mid-ratio covers match this formula. Recently, in Day After Wednesday report for September 12th, 2024, we identified a similar book in Profane #4. This beautiful cover, featuring the main protagonist in her icon ballroom gown, was already featured on the Cover Price Day After Wednesday, October 24th, 2024. In that article, we reported that this cover would be sought after and we could become very pricey. It seems that prediction has come true with this most recent sale of $150. And I'm so breathtaking by this, man. This is gorgeous. Jennifer Connelly. I mean, what teenager did not just drool over this beautiful, gorgeous woman back in the 80s, especially when this Labyrinth movie came out, man. She looks absolutely stunning into this. So anything with Jennifer Connelly, man.
And Florentino, if you guys are familiar with the show Arcane, she did some really beautiful renditions of Jinx. Have any of you watched Arcane? The show? No. Oh, it's so good. It's like one of the best animated shows I've seen in quite some time. The new season's actually coming out this Saturday, if any of you are Arcane fans. But yeah, she does really fantastic work. And I think what you said there, it's an evergreen piece. You can just place up on the wall and drool over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to get this blown up and framed in that and have it on your wall. You know, you kind of, this would go so well with any type of motif, whether it be a medieval looking motif or a comic book or something modern, something classic. I mean, this is just all around perfection for me.
I agree.
It's a beautiful cover. You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo? Hoodoo? You do.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a beautiful cover and very cool. Yeah.
I love it. First, Marty, you brought up Jennifer Connelly. Oh yeah. I will say that 100%. I agree. I see Cover Price in the chat saying that this cover is mesmerizing. Absolutely. I love covers from artists that, you know, you see that the painting style, right? Like you get Dell'Otto, obviously Justin Florentino, as you could see, very much along the same lines of style. I love Marco Mastrazzo's work as well. Like that type of stuff, I find very incredible. I always enjoy the comic cover, but I always wish I could have the original piece. Could you imagine what this original piece must look like? Like, it would probably be insane. But yeah, this is very neat. I love this.
The labyrinth in the background is very strategically placed because it kind of gives the Virgin Mary effect. Doesn't it kind of have like that halo effect around it, which I like that. I think that's really cleverly done.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Madonna halo. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of remind you of it? I don't know. That's just what I thought when I looked at this.
That's definitely the intention. It has to be. It's one of those things, you know.
I tell you what, when I look at this, my heart is just so warm and taken back that I can no longer take this. It's such beauty and
your heart. Is that what we're focusing on? I don't know. Yeah. This is beautiful. I think we all missed the boat. I'm looking at the comments here. It doesn't look like anybody was able to snag this up.
Yeah.
So whoever did and whoever was paying attention, because Cover Price read the tea
Yeah.
leaves on this, right? They talked about this on October 24th. So if you were watching those shows, you would have had some insider information and picked it up at Cover or at Ratio, I should say.
Yep.
And that would have saved you some money.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. The beautiful Jim Henson's Labyrinth #2 from Justine Florentino, 1 in 25, Boom Studios this year with a raw already raking in $150 for a near mint. What do we have next?
Still attainable.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got this one. I have this. I have 2 of this one, so this puts me on the board.
Nice.
This is Spider-Man #1, the Jason Polan variant from Marvel in 2019. If you don't know who Jason Polan is, he's a famous artist known for his quirky sketches and involvement in the New York art scene. He's got a couple books out. All of those books are very expensive. And a few of his books are comics. His first major published work was called Every Person in New York. Now that book you can get on Amazon for about $20. Some of his other work, including the Book of Art of the Museum of Art of the Book of Art, is like it's a ghost. You can't find it anywhere. His books are really expensive. His art is very stylistic, and there's just not a lot of it out there because unfortunately Polan passed away from cancer back in 2020. He was only 37 years old. He has a huge fan base, and he was a huge fan of comics, and not just comics. He was a fan of artists and the entire industry of comics. He didn't produce very much comic book work, but he did do 2 covers. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man #20 in 2019 is the most well-known work. Laura, I'm going to show you what that cover looks like, and because it's an amazing cover.
Oh, wait, wrong thing.
There you go. There you can see it on my. There you go. There you go. So this is Spider-Man 20. Now this book relatively has really recently sold for like 10 grand. I mean, this is it's a very hard very hard to find comic.
Yep.
And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Wow.
But so this is just one of those artists that you really have to look for. This is his last published art before he passed away. Spider-Man #1 in 2019. The rare variant for ASM 2000 for ASM 20 sells for almost $2 grand raw. And there's graded copies selling for 10 grand. It's considered a modern grail. This book is starting to get some attention as well. And prices appear to be moving up in the aftermarket. This past week, Cover Price noted an all-time high sale for this Spider-Man #1 in the 9.6, not even a 9.8, 9.6 for $305. It's a shame we'll never see more Polan's work in comics or in art in general. And he is going to be missed by the community. He is missed by the community.
Yeah.
And his work is truly unique, and there just won't be another one like him.
I actually like it without the color even better, which normally I'm the other way around. So seeing the ink work on that, oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember us talking about the Amazing Spider-Man issue 20 cover, and the sale was absolutely bonkers. I at first was blown away by the sale, and I was like, well, that's kind of strange. But then after learning about the story behind the artist and behind the actual cover itself, it totally makes sense. And as you could see with Spider-Man 1, CGC 96 for only 305. I think that's actually pretty good. Spider-Man #1, the 2019 miniseries from issues 1 to 5 I actually enjoyed it. Out the gate, MJ dies. If I'm not mistaken, I think the interiors were done by Sarah Pichelli. And it's very, very well done on the interiors. I loved it. But again, no surprise. This story that Chris just gave us regarding the artist, the cover, and everything, Jason Polan. I'm actually shocked 305 is the sale and not more.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, Pichelli was amazing. She did a lot of work on the Spider-Man series.
Yeah,
Has
so
that very 70s feel look to it, doesn't it?
it does, yeah. So if you find, and this is true not just for the two comics that he did work on, if you find any of Poland's books out there, they demand a price on the aftermarket, with the exception of the later copies of Every Single Person in New York, or yeah, Every Person in New York. Those are still in print, but if you can find the first editions of those, they're really expensive. If you can find any of his books signed, they are really expensive, and it's all this kind of this line draw. It reminds me a lot of some of the early Picasso, work where he's kind of drawing on a napkin sort of thing. It's very stylistic, very nuanced, and his attention to detail is like it's such a really cool, different look at art.
It still feels like you're walking on the streets of New York and you see those art vendors. They have a very similar style to this, so it's definitely paying tribute to that. And yeah, this is very cool. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, that was Spider-Man #1, the Jason Poland variant from 2019. We have a top sale for SCGC 9.6 coming in at $305, and we only have 2 shakers left, guys. There are over 80 of you hanging out with us right now. Please give the show a thumbs up, sub the channel if you haven't already. We have content all week, so we appreciate you guys being here and spending your Thursday night with the Shakers crew. What do we have next?
At shaker number 9, not only are they making us shake in our boots, they're shaking our list. Terrifier #1, Art the Clown, 2021. As you can easily envision, the infamous Art the Clown, a notorious figure known for his terrifying performances in The Ninth Circle and the chilling Terrifier films, often makes a prominent appearance on our list during this haunting time of the year. His unsettling presence, marked by a sinister grin and grotesque antics, has become an emblem of Halloween horror. You know, I'm going to pause here for a second because I will say this year, I saw so much Art the Clown at Halloween time. It was crazy. It was so good. And I love the costume. But anyways, unsurprisingly, devoted collectors are on the lookout for this comic book, eager to add a piece of this macabre character to their collections. You can hit me with it. I don't care.
I know the feeling.
To their collections and embrace the spine-tingling essence of the season. Terrifier #1 appears on our list this week, hitting an all-time high of $829 for a raw copy. Interestingly, this sale is more than double the previous sales of both graded copies recorded last year. Last month saw the release of Terrifier 3, which may have contributed to this recent sale. The film has made waves at the box office, grossing an astonishing $50 million worldwide, an impressive feat for an unrated horror movie. While 50 million might not seem monumental in the grand scheme of cinematic blockbusters, it holds significant weight considering that the film's production budget was a mere $2 million. Could you imagine that, guys? 48 million in profits, baby.
Wow.
This remarkable return underscores the brilliance of director Damien Leone, who must revel in this triumphant success amid the ever-changing horror genre. And guys, like I said, for Halloween this year, this is literally one of the costumes I saw the most. Of course, we just got Terrifier 3. It's not the first time Terrifier makes the list this month of October. Okay, we're in November now, but yeah, in October there was another cover as well that hit a high sale for Terrifier #1. I forgot who did the cover, but yeah, man, I think Terrifier is like creeped up into there with the names of Jason, Freddy, etc.
That's interesting, man, because you've got such a B film, B character here, right? And that's making such huge hits on that. And clowns freak me out, period, man. So, just looking at this, it freaks me the hell out, man. I don't like clowns, man, and they're so scary and freaky, man. And there's just something about them, you know what I mean? Even on Spawn, man. Oh, that was just that's a creepy demon clown right there. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, here we go. I could see this. This is such a niche type of collecting. there's collectors for this as well, especially if they love any type of horror genre. If they're into the Terrifier as well, into that genre, or even going up to the names of Kruger and Jason and all that. I could see that making that, man.
For $829 raw, that's insane.
That's insane.
Wow.
That is madness, man. That is madness. Yeah. But remember, it's worth whatever it is to that person. You know?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
If this book is worth $829 to that person, then it's well worth the buy for them, right? Especially if they're a fan of it. I mean, I want to say there's
clowns have like that. They're supposed to be that innocent, pure childhood fun. So it's that pretense of having something so horrifying masked by something that's supposed to be so innocent. And that's like that lethal combination.
Right.
But Marty, I agree. $829 for a raw near mint plus copy. Like, guys, this is raw. This isn't great.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like it's like the hobby's a circus and Art the Clown's just hosting us all, guys. That's what happened. $829.
Cover price in chat is saying that the only way you could have gotten these is from the Terror Shop, from the Terrifier.com. I didn't even know Terrifier was a thing until Chris Jericho started talking about it on AEW, because apparently he's I just kind of learned within the last couple of weeks that this was even a thing. I didn't know that there was any movie series out there. I didn't know that they did the comic in 2021. You're talking about an exclusive, only available at probably conventions and from the movie makers. You got a recipe here for money, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a recipe for money, and $50 million for a $2 million budget film. That's the kind of stuff that franchises are built off of. You're going to see a dozen more Terrifier movies.
Absolutely,
like Blair Witch. Remember when that came out?
Worse than last, and
Star Wars,
and it's just one. This is going to be the new, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, or
Marty, what did you just say? Star Wars was a low budget. How low?
Oh yeah, it was a low budget.
How do I not know this?
And it just I don't know the numbers, but it started. I remember watching the documentary. It started out as a low budget, and they went over budget at one point too, and so but they ended up making it. It became a hit. And look at it; it's a franchise now.
One of the interesting stories about Star Wars, the original, was the only way that they had enough money to finish the film budget was to sell the toy rights.
Yeah,
that is right. They did. Okay. They had to sell the toy rights. Yep.
Do it again, Laura.
I had no freaking clue. I had no clue that Star Wars was a low budget. Okay, maybe everybody else did.
Is that mind blowing? Really?
Mind blowing.
So for everybody in the chat, we brought it up on the show that we need to do this. While Lando and Marty were reading, I was building it and I uploaded it, and Laura played it. So
that's
we're doing it live.
Teamwork.
I'll make it seamless next time, but that's good enough for now.
Marty, FYI, into the chat, in case you missed the news, I'm curious to see how Marty's going to react to this. You spoke Star Wars. They are apparently working on episodes 10 to 12 now.
Of course,
I've heard that. I've heard it, and I've read some news on it, and I've heard other people's reaction to it and their opinions into it too, and I have my own. But this is not the show, I guess, to talk about it. But
All right, Terrifier number 1, Art of the Clown LLC 2021. We have a raw near mint plus coming in at $829, which is a testament not only to the fact that this director, Damien Leone, was able to create something as iconic and cult following as Star Wars, apparently, but also that you guys have to pay attention to these horror conventions. Sometimes that's where the money is. All right, last but not least, last shaker of the night. What do we got? Oh man, we're sticking with this theme apparently.
Yeah, number 10 shaker brings you Vendetta Holy Vindicator #1 by Steve McCardle variant, limited to 500, published by Red Bullet Comics in 1993. Originally self-published in 1993 with only 500 copies, This hidden gem is experiencing a resurgence thanks to its gritty thrash metal aesthetics and raw, unapologetic storytelling that embodies the DIY spirit of the 90s indie comics. A CGC 7.0 coffee recently set a new all-time high, selling for $400, signaling its growing appeal among collectors and fans. Now reissued by the Power Comics and Floating World Comics, this cult classic is celebrating as outsider art, and after a 30-year hiatus, McArdle has revived the series with issue number 5. The return of Vendetta not only brings nostalgia, but highlights McArdle's unique style, passion, and dedication to his brutal anti-hero, solidifying its place in indie comic history. Now, I'm a fan of anti-heroes. I'm a fan of just these type of vendetta. Batman is one of them in a sense, if you look at it. So I enjoy this type of a character, revenge sort of, just totally gritty. I don't think the movie did it justice, based off the comic. I think I was just really disappointed with the movie when that came out, man. And I don't know. It just wasn't for me.
I have no idea what this is. I can't speak to it at all, Marty. Like, if this is your thing, I'm like, I don't even know what this is.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there it goes.
Hold on, because you're talking Vendetta movie. Are you talking about the one that recently came out? Like a few years ago? Or are you talking old school?
Old school.
Yeah. Okay, no, that I haven't seen.
I have no idea what he's talking. Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to this. I mean, limited to 500 is what I could see going for it, but otherwise, like, there's not much for me here.
Yeah, very rarely are all of us like,
Yeah.
So this is the weird thing. All right. 1993, you got this book coming out, Red Bullet Comics, self-publish, right? And it's, doesn't do well. Right. First 4 issues, 1993, 1994, 2 in 1994, and then 1995. And then Laura sneezes and Chris jumps a mile high having a heart attack.
No.
So
you okay, Chris?
It's 30 years, 29 years. Okay, I thought that the wait for Battle Chasers to continue was long. This is even longer. All right.
Battle Chasers.
30 years between issue 4 and 5. That's what this is.
That's
okay.
Crazy.
So this is number 1. This is the low print and everything like that. I mean, I'm not a fan of the art personally, but I could see how if anybody was a fan of this book back in the 90s and then to see it pop up again at their LCS or on the FOC lists, and you're like, oh wait a minute, they relaunched it and they just continue to story like issue 4, issue 5, nothing happened, it's just the next issue 30 years later.
You're not thinking about V for Vendetta, are you?
Yeah, I stand corrected. Yeah, I stand corrected.
Okay,
I think I was under the impression this was very similar to the Vendetta.
No, but I'm actually shocked V for Vendetta did not make the list, considering the 5th of November just passed.
I actually thought the same thing. You see that pop up on the top 10 every year around this time, and the fact that the election day was on the 5th of November and it didn't stimulate some sort of aftermarket sales, that kind of blows my mind. But this has been weird Shakers list, man.
I wonder, does this possibly have anything to do with why that didn't have we see that on the list this year or around this time frame?
What do you mean?
This coming out instead of V for Vendetta.
No, I just think it's Vendetta. I think the reason why it popped is because just like last week, issue number 5 came out. Yeah, exactly. November 6th, issue number 5 came out. I'm using the Cover Price app, by the way, to get this information. So and right on the cover it says first issue in 30 years, and it looks like it was drawn by a 8th grader. But I mean, whatever. It's interesting.
It has that popping effect to it, though, I guess. And again, if you're a fan of it, so yeah. All right, we're gonna end this insane list this week. And again, for the record, the guys and I, we don't make this list. The aftermarket makes this list. It's whatever you guys are out there doing, these interesting sales. This has nothing to do with us. We just report it. So we have Vendetta Holy Vindicator #1, the Steve McCardle variant, limited to 500 from Red Bullet Comics back in 1993. A CGC 7.0 coming in at $400. All right, Lando is going to be in charge of what's shaken this week. So we'll get to that in just 1 second. Let me take this down. Kick that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay.
Seamless transition.
I know, right? That's why Lando used to say all that all the time. Yeah, and you guys, Cover Price. We don't need to tell you all the million reasons why you should be using Cover Price. Instead, during the shakers here, we're just going to focus on what's shaken.
What's
Lando,
shaking, baby?
Yeah, let's get into it. Now, Marty, you cut me off at the plug. JD, thank you for bringing it up. But the main reason why I brought up the Star Wars stuff is because, yes, look at this awesome little stuff here. You can see the news. Boom. So if ever you guys want to see what's happening news-wise, it's at the bottom. But no, we want to look at the shakers. I want to see what's shaking on the secondary market. And thanks to Cover Price, we could see what's happening daily now.
Oh my God! Look at that Black Cat #50. Oh my God!
That's a neat cover, man. CGC 1.5 at 7,700 US dollars.
Lord,
not bad, but
you said a 1.5.
A 1.5, like it's barely being held together there.
Right, and maybe half of a cover or something.
Yeah, that's a sick cover, man. But
oh man,
yeah, one thing I love doing over on the daily shakers is going to the filters, as Chris and everyone else has shown you every week. I want to see the all-time highs, and I am not shocked to be seeing this guy here because we've gotten some Spider-Man Noir news. CGC 9.8 selling at $850. Amazon, Sony bringing us Spider-Man Noir very soon. Are you guys excited for that?
Yes.
I'm pumped. I don't know.
I will enjoy it. I will enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Noir is one of the best Spider-Mans. So.
It is. Now up, obviously, here, as you can see, current trend, 4.44%, 850 being the all-time high sale. Yeah, not bad. Wow. I love that.
You go to that cover. Yeah, that all-white background. Oh, I love that, man.
So the Quesada cover for Ultimate Spider-Man issue 160, probably one of my favorite. And we've seen it homage several times. I believe it was on Secret Wars with Miles Morales and Peter Parker. So good. I love this cover.
It makes me cry. Him walking with Uncle Ben. Oh my God.
It's beautiful. It looks like heaven.
Right. So that's exactly where he went because, he died in the issue. So CGC 9.8, $800. Another all-time high sale, which is very impressive for this book. I love this. Guys, I use this daily because we get daily updates and I tend to cover market stuff myself, and I love using
Lando, I'm in a red dress. Can you click that one?
Where? This one?
Go back up right there. Love. Yes.
Love. No idea what this is, but Top Stories, issue number 6. We have a lady in a red dress. Does that make a bingo card?
Yes.
There you go.
That makes the bingo card.
Oh, and it's that perfect pose, man. That pose is just
so romantic, and she even has her diary hanging in the trees.
Yeah.
My diary.
Yeah, there you go. No one else.
He's dark haired like Anthony. It's perfect.
Yeah, fantastic. Maybe for a wedding anniversary, you guys can retake this photo. But for CGC 6.0, $550, which is also very impressive. But I saw something a little lower, guys. We're all gonna have fun with this one. Oh yeah.
Is that
Donald man? Trump? Yeah, I so wanted. That's Trump, and that's when he did an interview when he was a lot younger. Of course, I would have loved to. I still want to get a copy of this.
Yeah. Rocking racism. Anyways,
wow, he looks so much like his son. I never realized how much him and Baron look the same after a bit.
Crazy.
350 for a 9.2. Wow.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. Do you think such a book would pop even more now after 2 days ago? We'll see, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see. But $350 is pretty impressive. Obviously, the gold foil from the wet packs are doing their things. Guys, the Long Halloween, these books, especially with the Penguin and the first appearance of Sophia, there's just so much good stuff. I'm happy to see a lot of love back on Batman: The Long Halloween. I know people buy up books for first appearances, etc., but you got to read The Long Halloween. It's just so good.
Oh, absolutely. It's a good story.
Oh, this one's back. Look at that. Arthur Adams cover for G.I. Joe, issue number 1. This is
nice.
$250.
Arthur Adams, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Didn't we just cover this not long ago?
It was a different
cover, yeah.
Wasn't Sozo Micah the one that we were looking at?
Oh, it could be.
I thought it was. I thought she was the one that did this, but maybe I'm wrong.
Could be, but that's neat. So yeah, there you go. Obviously, some of the books we spoke about tonight. The Mask. That is so cool. So cool. I love those. Yeah, I saw
Child's Play. Look, they got Child's Play right there. I love that.
Yeah, that's not even the first appearance, because the Child's Play 2 was the first appearance of Chucky in Comix, and then they went back and printed made Child's Play 1 movie adaptation.
This is this is funny. Nice. Is this supposed to be a Chucky / Ghostbusters crossover?
It is. Yeah,
it sure is.
Yeah,
the homage to that the Ghostbuster emblem.
Yeah, really neat. But so many good books. Now here we looked at the top sales, but Chris, as you've shown in previous weeks, we've got variants as well. I want to see some variants because we get those big books, but my oh my, look at this. So many variants. We just saw some of these as top sales. I feel like this is always,
look at that.
Yeah, this is
G.I. Joe number 1 sold for $1,200. I got to get mine graded.
$1,200. Yeah, look at that. For a CC98.
Wow, look at that.
You have a newsstand, Chris?
I do. Yeah, I have a newsstand and a direct.
Of what?
G.I. Joe number 1.
G.I. Joe number 1.
I have 2 of those. I don't know if they're newsstand or the direct edition, but I do have that. I need to get mine graded as well, Chris.
Yeah. So many great books. I don't actually have a copy of G.I. Joe number 1, not even in a direct, so I got to get on that. But
there's Matthew Waite right there too for Deadpool.
Matthew Waite is in the chat. Let's bring him up and let him know that his Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
Issue number 11, the 8-bit. Yeah, this is amazing.
There he is.
I just recently picked up, obviously there was the Deadpool that just came out by Matthew Waite. It was like the one where he's jumping on a Goomba that is pretty much Dr. Doom.
Right.
So good. So well done. I actually want to get remarked. So, yeah.
His remarks are really good. I'm telling you. They're like their own little mini comics on top of this. So that's really neat.
Yeah. No, I like I said, not because he's in the chat, but I genuinely enjoy his art and everything he does. And I follow him on Instagram. His remarks are out of this world. I love this cover. It is a Super Mario homage.
It's the Hastings variant too. They don't make those anymore. They don't make any more Hastings. Hastings closed down back in I think 2018 or something like that. But they don't. Those are, so one of those variants.
How cool to have them in the chat when that happened, right?
Yeah.
I
think that's a way to end off on a high note, guys. What do you think?
No, that was good. That was perfect.
Perfect. Great job, Lando. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, that was really good. Let's see.
Can I throw something out there real fast? I'm going to be able to start going to my LCS on a weekly basis. And I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of show like what my focus on purchasing was this week. So I don't know if you guys have read it yet, but
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. This
congratulations, man.
Amazing. It's such a banger. Everybody's got to go read it. You're going to probably see it on the top 10 list. But you're talking about Long Halloween, right? I'll also pick that up.
Very nice. Oh, you got the foil
Yeah.
edition. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, I got a big stack of comics here. I'm not going to go through them all, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. If Lando, if you go, and Marty, if you guys go to your LCS, Laura, you are an LCS.
I already have. Yeah, I got the Ash Cam. Like all the absolutes have been really good. I think Wonder Woman was a little bit slow, but I still enjoyed it.
Really? I thought Wonder Woman was amazing. I'm loving every single one of them.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
want to see absolute booster gold. Give it to me.
All right. Well, yeah, that was it for us tonight, guys. That was an interesting list. So before we let you go, make sure that you subscribe and like the show. We have content all week. We've said this a couple times. Top 10 is on Tuesdays. We have Shakers tonight. And then tomorrow you have Comics Covered with the co-founders, John and Matt. And they give away a lot of stuff on that show. So good way for you to grab some comics for free. All right, round table. We'll start with Marlando.
Morlando, yes, that's my new name, Morlando. Guys, thank you all, everybody in the chat, every single one of you who came to rock it with us tonight. Please do yourself a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like Laura said, we go live multiple times a week. Cover Price is putting in the work, going live tomorrow, going live Tuesday. Of course, we'll have the top 10. But not just that, the website. I just showed you guys the daily shakers and what you have available to you once you subscribe to the website. So do yourself a favor. Check it out. Subscribe. You can be up to date with all these shaker lists, all the top 10 stuff, all the amazing content if you just get yourself over to the website. As for myself, I already can't wait to hang out with you guys next Thursday. But I have a surprise for you guys. I don't even think Cover Price themselves know this, but this Sunday on my channel, I have a guest that's going to be joining me from Cover Price. So, yeah, I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that.
Very nice.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And where can we find you on YouTube, Lando?
Oh, you could just click my name that was in the chat, or just go check out Black Crown Comics, as you could see the name there.
Yeah.
Right
There
there.
you go. That's easy. Don't want to miss that out. All right, Chris, say goodbye tonight.
I had a great time. I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking comics. I love talking shop. And hey, the more I get to talk about comics, the more excited I get. So Cover Price is a great deal. Just like Lando was talking about, go sign up for a free trial. Okay, it's worth it. It's worth it. Go sign up for a free trial. And you're just going to get yourself hooked just with the articles and everything like that.
Yeah,
I don't want to push too hard.
They're okay.
I don't want to push too hard. I'm trying not to push too hard. I know that we're not supposed to push too hard, but guys, it's really worth it. It's really worth it.
You zoomed in for that.
but yeah, definitely. It's Thursday. I love Thursdays. You guys know what that means. It's time for Shakers. We did it. We hung out. And tomorrow, I'm gonna go check out the long boxes at one of my local swap meets because it's Veterans Day weekend. So, lastly, from me, as one veteran, Marty, happy Veterans Day.
You too, brother.
Yeah, from one veteran to another, and to all those in the chat, happy Veterans Day. Please remember why it's a bank holiday and you're not getting mail. It's for a reason. But happy Veterans Day, everybody. Enjoy your long weekend if you have it. And absolutely love being here with you guys. So thank you.
Well, damn. Last but not least, Marty.
Yeah, I mean, I love you guys, man. This is amazing. I can't follow any of that. You guys are amazing, and I ditto everything that you guys just said. But no, yeah, absolutely. You too, Chris. Thank you very much. Happy Veterans Day to you, all my other fellow veterans out there as well. Please be safe over the weekend. I will be out fishing with some other fellow veterans Monday myself.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I'm gonna enjoy myself. Hopefully, other guys, veterans, especially other veterans, stay active, man. Stay active, please, because the number one killer of a lot of vets, senior vets too, is inactivity. You know, we kind of get in. So you guys be safe out there. Have fun. And thanks for joining us, chatsters out there, you Tubanites, on live and on the rewind. And thank you for joining us and putting up with our antics and stuff. We have fun doing this, man. I love this, man. I loved it. I love it so much. I have to do it twice a week, man. Right, Laura? You know, so that's why I come on twice a week, because where else can I just sit down with a bunch of guys and girls of like minds and just talk comic books. And not only that, I learn from the people and the chapters out there and the YouTubenites out there. Man, they're smart out there. You don't if you don't know something, you ask the chat. I guarantee you they'll know the answer, man. But I have fun with this. I enjoyed this. I learned a lot. I enjoyed talking to you. I just love you guys. So thank you.
Marty.
Oh, and may the comic gods continue to bless your long boxes and fill them with gold, silver, bronze, copper, moderns. And may TiVo continue to bless you. Namaste, Excelsior.
Marty.
Laura, is that better? Was that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.